We got some contract news to get to. Three guys wanting new deals. Micah Parsons, let's start there because Jerry Jones could not help himself yesterday. Made a couple of, I'll just say, insane statements. He went the Kyle Shanahan route and went with the 4 or 5 year contracts. Well, you could get hit by a car next week, right? He went that route when talking about Micah Parsons and the length of his deal. He also gave a compliment to Micah Parsons, saying he's the most knowledgeable player he's ever negotiated with in terms of the cap, in terms of financials, which I can attest to. Every time I've been on the NFL draft show on Bleacher Report in the last 2 years, he will talk about teams' cap situations that aren't even in the NFC. He will talk about how much guys are getting paid. That guy knows the ins and outs of the cap and knows what he's worth. So he's going to get every dollar. And with the new deals from Myles Garrett and TJ Watt this offseason and Max Crosby, those dollars only seemingly going up at this point.
Yeah, I mean, if the question is, will the Cowboys fumble the extension, you could argue they have already fumbled it. Yeah. It's just a matter of if the opposition has recovered the ball, right? It's right. I mean, the fact is they should have done this deal last year, but because they couldn't do it last year because they waited too long for CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott. So it's one of those just chain reaction things. They should have done CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott the year before. When you have your blue chip players, you're gotta have it guys. These are the ones that you really truly invest in. Not necessarily the Trayvon Diggses of the world, who the interceptions 1 year probably not going to carry over, right? All the stats say that year to year that's not going to carry over. And so they should have gotten it done. They've already fumbled. Now it's a matter of, can they recover their own fumble? They're going to have to pay him $43 million per year. The guarantees are going to have to be over $110 million, right? I mean, there's no doubt. The three of us, if we just sat down and we could come up with the 4-year contract for Micah Parsons that the Cowboys are going to have to offer him, and he won't accept less. And I do love, you mentioned how media savvy Micah Parsons is. Jerry Jones has been at this for a minute now, right? And yeah, he says some things, and I think we all know that most octogenarians lose that filter. So Jerry Jones, if he ever had a filter, he continues to lose it.
Does that mean in the 80s?
That is right.
Okay.
But Micah Parsons is, he's fighting that fire with fire. He knows what he's doing, what he's saying, and how he's saying it. I think a deal ultimately gets done because that's what makes sense, but no time soon.
Hey, Harry, can you pull up that picture of Micah Parsons wearing the little kid's backpack again? Pay this guy however much it takes, okay, from an offensive lineman. And I said offensive linemen are an integral part of the game plan of victory. This guy is a destroyer of worlds in our world. So get him paid because the price only goes up. We've seen it happen a number of times this offseason. Figure it out, Landman. Figure it out.
Yeah, Micah Oppenheimer.
Yeah, I mean, look at those traps. Gosh.
I say not only pay him, you got to pay Tyler Smith too. This is 3 years in. This is when you can first start to extend him. Get out ahead of it. He is a all-pro level guard. He is 24 years old. Get a long-term deal with him signed right now. As we just saw with Trey Smith, we got a big deal. If you can get in just above Trey Smith's number, that's going to look like a steal by the time that extension gets put in. Do it right now, or else, well, you're going to go down on the deadline. Yet again, seemingly the Cowboys' way. They did it with CD. They did it with Dak. They did it with Osa.
I don't know how people lose sight of this, Mike, that contracts get more expensive over time. I mean, and to your point, Tyler Smith, lock him up. Lock that guy up. He's a great football player. You've got all that youth in the room. Get them all together. Keep them all together. I would love to have Tyler Smith be a Cowboy. Continuing on.
Terry McLaurin, Commanders wide receiver. Last year of his deal, not showing up to Commanders training camp. How do we see this one playing out, JJ?
I think he ultimately gets paid. I think that they're going to fudge the numbers to get some AAV, that average annual value, that is going to make everyone look good, right? That maybe ultimately this should slot in at essentially being a $28-29 million per year deal. Whether he ever sees a dollar of that in 2027, who knows? You're going to win the headline and you're going to get on the graphics that every outlet puts up, and there you go. Guaranteed money, probably no guaranteed money after next year. The difficult part, like I remember, was it last week that Garrett Wilson signed? Time is an illusion, but whenever Garrett Wilson signed and he got $32.5 million, everybody's like, oh, well, this only helps Terry McLaurin. No, it doesn't. Garrett Wilson is 5 years younger than Terry McLaurin. Garrett Wilson has never gotten a second contract before. Like Garrett Wilson is not on a team that just went out and got a Deebo Samuel and all these things and has a quarterback on a rookie deal. These things it's completely different. So when you look at the teams who have had to consider paying 30-plus-year-old wide receivers, every team that Devontae Adams was or is on, you look at the team that he currently is on that used to employ Cooper Kupp. You look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers who paid Mike Evans when there were no comps out there. It's like when like when you buy a house and then they have to confirm that the house is worth what it is. And so you try to find the comps in the area. There aren't a lot of 30-plus-year-old wide receivers who are getting paid $32+ million per year. There's no comp. You're not going to find it. So I don't see it working out for Terry. The only way that it does work out, and he will sign with the Commanders, the only way it does work out is there's going to be some funny money in the deal that inflates the ultimate value of it, and he wins the headline in hour one, and then on day 3, when the contract details really come out, everyone knows what it is.
Yeah, I am of the opinion that you can't give a guy's age 32 season a $30+ million cap hit. That has to be on the roster. You're just playing with fire, especially when you have Jaden Daniels, right? When that window's open, you're playing with fire. Just historically, you look at Julio Jones when he was 29. So McLaurin's age last year, when he was 29, 1,677 yards. By age 31, he was basically done. Like he was basically ineffective by NFL standards. From 31 to 34, he didn't even have 1,600 yards total in those 4 seasons. Devontae Adams, this was the exact same year that the Packers traded him away. Now, obviously, he's been productive since then, but they looked at, the history of the wide receiver position and just said, it's probably not in our best interest to give this guy a massive, massive deal. And I think you're seeing a little bit with Tyreek Hill in his early 30s starting to go downhill. So and I think you saw with Calvin Ridley, who just signed at the same age, a 4-year, $93 million deal last year with the Titans. And while he didn't look like the Calvin Ridley we saw in Atlanta or in Jacksonville. So for all those reasons, it's got to be, if you are going to give him an extension, no more than 1 year tacked onto this of really having to pay the man, because after that, I think you're playing with too much fire for a team that's too good and in too big of a window to really say, hey, yeah, Terry, we're going to give you this 4-year deal where you're going to play out all of it. It's just not realistic at this point in time.